If your Google Ads account was set up before 2026, then there's a good chance that you're leaking budget right now. And Google isn't going to tell you because Google wants to make more money. So you leaking budget is actually really good for Google. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through a 5-step audit you can do yourself. No agency needed, no tech skills needed. I'll show you exactly where to look, step by step. See, Google Ads has changed a lot. Automation is doing more of the heavy lifting, but that also means that your structure and settings matter more now, not less. And also, more automation isn't necessarily always good, especially if you do not have a large company's budget. And most accounts that were built like way before are overcomplicated. There's too many campaigns, too many ad groups, too much fragmentation. The old story of have one type of keyword per ad group just doesn't work anymore. And so Google's AI is trying to learn from your data, and you got to give it the right structure and the right data so it can actually learn, even if you run on a very small budget or double-digit budget per day. So here's how to fix that. So step number 1 is your campaign structure. Open your campaigns tab. And there's a couple of red flags here. If you find more than 8 to 10 active campaigns for one product or service, if the campaigns are split by match type, or any campaigns with fewer than 30 conversions per month, that's going to be very difficult for Google Smart Bidding to learn from that. Because if Smart Bidding doesn't have enough data, you're pretty much paying Google to guess, and guessing becomes really, really expensive. And the way you do this is when you're in your account tab, I'm going to show this to you with a practice account, so there are no campaigns active right now. You check the conversion column. Does it actually show more than 30 conversions? And if it doesn't, well, change your bidding strategy. A lot of times the bidding strategy would be set to conversions or like maximize conversions, target cost per acquisition, and so on, when Google actually doesn't have enough data. So the way you do this is you are going to your campaign settings, and then you scroll to bidding. And then you change it in a display campaign, for example, to viewable impressions. In a search campaign, you would change it to maximize clicks. And the reason you do that is we have seen if we keep bidding on conversions, our clicks are sometimes, or the clicks of our clients are oftentimes like 8 to 10 times as high than what they need to be, right? So you go to bidding and you click on change bid strategy and you change it to clicks. When we do that, we've seen that the cost per click for our clients reduces by 40 to 80%. This is insane. Like by just changing the bid strategy, you suddenly get like 5-10 times more clicks out of your budget. This is one of the most hidden tricks that even the most experienced agencies do not know about. Step 2, your budget allocation. So we're going to go back to the campaigns tab. And this is something where I see a lot of companies bleeding money over and over again. You want to make sure you see all campaigns, and you want to check the budget column as well as your cost per conversion column. And what I see frequently happening is that the campaigns with the highest cost per conversion would get the most budget, which doesn't make any sense because you want the campaigns that have the lowest cost per conversion, your lowest cost to acquire any customer, the most budget. And this is something you should check on average once a month in order to make sure that your budget is allocated appropriately and correctly. So go through your campaigns, check them out, see what kind of like budget is allocated, and add the most budget to the campaign that offers you the lowest cost per conversion. Or if you're only bidding on like maximize clicks, add it to the campaign that's giving you the lowest cost per click. Step 3, the search terms. A lot of people forget that. The way we find it is if we go to Insights and Reports and search terms. And you will see some search terms show up here when you have your campaigns running. And I'll give you an example here. We noticed that anytime for a client who's in a massage business, that her calls would drop or the quality of calls would drop, she would face an increasing amount of search terms that would include competitor names. So we simply excluded any competitor names. In this column, when you see a search terms, you can simply click on this little box next to a search term, and then you'll see a blue bar that says add as a negative keyword. Add that to the ad group or campaign, both typically works. This is one of the easiest leverages that you can have in order to reduce the wasted budget that your campaign spends. Now, you got to know that Google never shows you 100% of all of the search terms that you show up. And they're being quite sneaky here for various reasons that I don't really believe in, because I believe in transparency and you should be able to see all the search terms that your campaign shows up. So do what you can with what you have. Now, you might be asking here, okay, but what's the difference between keywords and search terms? Well, keywords are the words that you enter in Google in order to tell it, hey, these are the keywords that I would love to show up for. And search terms are the terms that you actually show up for, the terms that people enter in Google search, for example, that then triggered your keywords and your ad to show up. Now, step 4. This is actually one of my most favorite reports, and it's hidden. A lot of people, again, don't know that this even exists. It's called the Auction Insights Report. When you open it up, when you click on it, it's right above search terms. You will see for your search campaigns and for your Performance Max campaigns, which other competitors are advertising. This is brilliant market research and insight. You can see what's your impression share, what's the overlap rate, what's the position above rate, and just go over each tab. It'll explain you exactly what it is about. You don't need me to tell you that. And this will really help you understand, where do I stand in comparison with my competitors? How much impression share do I get? Do I have room upwards in terms of budget? Let's say your impression share is at like 50% and the competitor's impression share is at 30%. That means, obviously up to 100%, you still have a lot of room to grow with your budget. But don't just increase your budget from like 0 to 100. Again, go with that 20-30% increase that I mentioned before. And last but not least, another easy leverage that you have is in the tab of when and where ads showed, where you have on the one hand your ad schedule report, and on the other hand you have your location report. So consider step 5 A and B, or step 5 and a bonus step. Now let's go to match locations first. So here you will see a report of wherever your ads showed up. Let's say you're advertising in the US, then you click on the United States and you will get a breakdown by like zip code, by county, by state, by city, whatever you'd want. It goes really, really granular. So that can be helpful in also finding leaks that just spend money, but where you don't get any leads. For example, if you run a nationwide campaign, typically we see that the states of New York, Texas, California, and Florida take the majority of the budget. But for many businesses, these might not be where your main customers are. So you can just exclude them. Or if you go to when ads showed, you will see an exact breakdown on which day, which hour your ad showed. So we had a client who was in the relationship coaching space. And what we noticed is that traffic would always go up on like weekends and in the night. Why? Because that's when people feel lonely. That's when people start like Googling. So of course, then during the nights and during weekends, I want to up my budget. I might eventually even want to like split up my campaigns to have one week that goes like from Monday to Thursday and one that goes from Friday to Sunday, and to allocate completely different budgets to it. Now, here's the honest truth. Most businesses don't need more ad spend. They need a cleaner account. Run through these 5 checks this week and see what you find. If you want to go deeper, I put together a full Google Ads optimization guide with my learnings from all the campaigns over the past 11 years. And it's just $7. I made it really affordable, the price of a cup of coffee or 2, depending on where you are. It's in the description below. Click on that link. It has everything you need in order to clean up your account, in order to start seeing better results. I'm Pamela Bachner from Ajala Digital, and we help businesses turn their ads from a cost center into a profit engine. I'll see you in the next one.